Before we try to solve this question, let's take a moment to unmask some of this very daunting looking notation. To start, f parentheses x, that's pronounced f of x, and what it means is that f, that is the function, its value depends on whatever is plugged in for x. Now this statement over here says that whenever our input, that is to say whenever our x value is 0 or greater than 0, the function, that is f, will equal whatever we plug in for x. It will equal the input. For example, if our input value were 3, then the function, that is f, would equal 3. If our input value was, say, 7, then the function, that is f, would equal 7. Now this part down here says that whenever your input value is negative, that is to say less than 0, the function, that is f, will equal 1 over the absolute value of whatever we plugged in. To make that sound a little less evil, say our input value was -2. That means our function, our f, would equal 1 over the absolute value of -2. So let's go ahead and look at the quantities now. In the case of quantity A, we can see that our input value is 2, which means it's positive. And remember, whenever your input's positive, that means the function, that is f, will equal whatever the input is. If our input is 2, that means the function equals 2. That's the value of quantity A. In the case of quantity B, we can see we have a negative input. And remember, whenever we have a negative input, our function is going to equal 1 over the absolute value of our input. So if our input is -1/4, that means our function, that is f, is going to equal 1 over the absolute value of -1/4. If we simplify that, remember the absolute value of -1/4 is just +1/4, leaving us with 1 divided by 1/4. And remember, the way you divide with a fraction is you multiply by the reciprocal. In other words, 1 divided by 1/4 is the same thing as 1 times 4/1, which means quantity B equals 4. And if that's the case, we can see that quantity B is bigger than quantity A. And remember, whenever B is bigger than A, that means the correct answer is B.